We got a Fox News alert here, checking the markets. Been open for 5 minutes right now. We are largely flat. This comes after a blowout jobs number from an hour ago. Hiring increased much more than anticipated. The number was 85,000. Turned out to be 172,000. Unemployment rate 4.3 stayed the same. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett joins me from the White House. And, sir, thanks for coming back. This is
great to be here, Bill.
Like once a month between you and me here. So good morning. Thanks for being here. You doubled the number. What's happening?
Yeah, it's absolutely a blowout number. And the thing that's most astonishing about it is we look at the forecast of everybody that's surveyed at Bloomberg, and not a single person got this number right. That happens quite a bit. But the error from the top person to this number was about 50,000 jobs. And so, right now, Wall Street just doesn't understand that the Trump economy is really creating an economic golden age. And then another thing that is probably not going to make the headlines, certainly not in the fake news, is that the numbers keep getting revised up. So you remember under Biden, they kept revising the numbers down. Well, we find that the previous months, they jacked the numbers up by another 100,000.
Yeah, I see that. Revisions were higher in March and higher in April.
And it's because of the Trump boom, the big, beautiful bill. We've got all these factories, the $18 trillion in factory spending. It's starting to really, really show up. We got 71,000 more construction workers.
I just want to jump in here so we can have a little back and forth here in the time that we have.
Yeah.
You have told us for a long time, as many in the administration have, is just wait until the tax cuts come into play for no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. That seems to be playing out. I'm not an economist, but with this crackdown on immigration, does that have an effect on the jobs number?
What it does is it makes it so that native-born workers are getting more of the jobs. And so there are a lot of folks, critics of the president, that said that we're not going to be able to continue to have positive jobs numbers because the crackdown on immigration is going to mean that we don't have enough workers. But the numbers that are coming in are showing that wages are going up. So we're not getting low-wage immigrants. We're getting high-wage, native-born workers coming back to the workforce. And they're coming in droves, as you can see, with the numbers, way north of 100,000 jobs month after month. And it's the opposite of the story, the immigration story that the left told us.
Okay, so here's a stick in the mud, and that's gas prices. Put it on screen right now. Today, the national average is $4.22. A year ago, however, you look at the top line of $4.22. You look at the bottom line, a year ago it was $3.14. Now, today it has come down. But we went out in mid-May and passed a Fox poll number about how much of a problem this is with the rising gas prices for your family. And it's a major problem for 51%. For the economy, they believe it's 75%. If you solve that issue, maybe these numbers improve. But that's a drag, sir, on the economy and the individual.
You're right. And it's our view that it's a temporary phenomenon that is a result of the president taking strong action to make sure that these lunatics in Iran don't have a nuclear weapon. And if you look at the fact that they've been firing on every vessel going through the Straits of Hormuz, even Chinese vessels, you can see that what happens if guys that are that loopy have a nuclear weapon. I think it's a future that Americans don't really want to even imagine, and President Trump is right to stand up to that. And you're right that there's a short-term disruption. But the good news is that when we've seen gas disruptions like this in the past, they've always been temporary. They've not fed through to core. And that's one reason why central bankers around the world look at the core number, not the top line number, when they're deciding what to do to interest rates.
Cheapest gas.
And if you look at the core number, it's barely moving at all.
Cheapest gas is Georgia, $3.79. Last question for you. Dallas Fed president had this quote about interest rates, all right? So a lot of people think they're going to go higher. Here's the quote. I'm increasingly concerned that higher interest rates could be necessary later this year to fully restore price stability and appropriately balance both sides of the Fed's dual mandate. I know the president doesn't want to hear that. Do you?
I think that what's going to happen is that if we continue to see numbers like we're seeing, these job numbers are going up because of the supply side of the economy, not because the government is spending a whole bunch of money and we're going to have like a Phillips curve effect that means the Fed has to tighten. I think what's happening is we've got a big investment boom, we've got a productivity boom, we've got no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, which means we got a labor supply boom. So supply is skyrocketing, and when that happens, you could have growth with low inflation. But of course, what we expect the Fed to do is to watch the inflation numbers, and as the inflation numbers go in the direction that we believe they will, then they'll have plenty of room to cut rates.
Kevin Hassett, thank you for your time. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.